Hello everyone, my name is Ira Fay, and I'm excited to show you this game from the 2024 World Tournament. I'm continuing my coverage from my run through that tournament, and this is actually, I misspoke in my last video, this is the round of 32, so there are 32 players left. Spoiler alert if you haven't watched the previous one, but I lost my first game in this match against JZW. 2-7, and I am now playing the free people with no tokens, and let's jump right into the game. So my opponent allocated 0 eyes and got this nice roll, and I also got this roll, and you can see that I got Book of Mazarbul. So if I'm willing to spend a ring, I can crown Aragorn turn 1 and get the dwarves to war. So would you do that in this situation against 1 eye? We can see, out of curiosity, Shadow got Shadow's Gather, which is powerful. Wormtongue, maybe not so useful. So let's see what Past Ira does. I assume I start by passing. They draw a strategy card. That makes sense. They're not going to play Shadow's Gather right away. There are sometimes situations where you can Shadow's Gather into South Rune and make a quick attack on the dwarves. But they didn't want to do that. That's fine. They muster Isengard to war, and now I have my choice. So I really hope my past Ira did it, because, by the way, I don't remember this game at all. It was more than a year ago. So one of the things I like about doing videos from my games from a long time ago is I get to really analyze and see with fresh eyes what I would do. Certainly current Ira recording this video right now, I would definitely do Book of Mazarbul because it'd be fun. It is a tournament game, and if I lose this game, I'm out, but I think military victory, even against 1 eye, is a valid strategy just to threaten it. You know, I'm still going to keep the fellowship moving slowly. Let's see. All right. Yeah, past Ira. Good job. Okay, so I separate. This is awesome. If you're playing Shadow and you see free people do this turn 1, are you not scared? Like, I feel like you get a little nervous seeing this. So I come to North Dunland, and I guess the thinking is I want to get Aragorn and Boromir down to somewhere. I mean, I would prefer to be in Minas Tirith because it's a little more mobile location. But if I'm also going to use Book of Mazarbul, then I need somebody like Gimli or whoever 4 regions away from Ered Luin, or 4 regions away from Erebor. But I can't do that from this direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I would have to get to Old Ford, but I can't get to Old Ford. So if you have something like Gwahir, or probably Gwahir turn 1, then you can get to Old Ford and have a companion in Erebor, which is a little more relevant location than Ered Luin. Okay, anyway, I go to North Dunland because my thinking is this is a good balance to be able to get companions 4 away from Ered Luin, also 6 away from a place where Strider can be crowned on turn 1. All right, so that happens. All right, they move armies, and, you know, if you're playing Shadow and you're like, well, it looks like free people are going to put up a good military defense, well, I still have to make some military progress. All right, I use a ring now because I need to save the final muster for Book of Mazarbul. All right, so Aragorn and Boromir head to, somebody told me how to pronounce this, Drewwyth Eyower. Correct me if that's wrong, but I think it's Drewwyth Eyower. And Gimli goes to Buckland. Nice. And Legolas has to stop when he enters a stronghold. It's not going to matter because he can end up in Lorien in a second. All right, so that's that. And Shadow moves from Gorgoroth to minus Morgul. Interesting. So they anticipate Aragorn being crowned, so maybe it encourages an attack on Gondor. Maybe they're going to head, maybe they're going to, I've seen some people form up this army here and then head towards Lorien, and then this army goes up. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Okay, Book of Mazarbul, probably no surprise there. It was either that or Fear Fire Foes. And Legolas ends up in Lorien, so I can use his ability to get to the elves, so I can use his ability to get the elves to war quickly. And obviously Boromir and Strider end up in Dol Amroth. All right. Mustering Saruman, that makes sense. And then Aragorn, turn one Aragorn. Armies move from Dol Guldur to South Anduin Vale. Okay. And let's see how the game proceeds. Might be a long one. I'll try and accelerate. All right, I'm happy with, playable cards. I have Gandalf here, so if I roll a bunch of Palantirs, then great. Shadow, I think, very properly allocates 0 eyes and doesn't get any. And, I don't know exactly how bad that is for Shadow because, let's see what I roll. All right, 2 movement. So I get 2 movement for free, but significantly, at this point, I kind of want to kill off Gandalf so I can bring him back and get my 6th die. Let's see what happens. Sauron goes to war. I play the Power of Tom Bombadil because I'm happy to progress the North towards war and, more importantly, redraw a strategy card. And I get the Wisdom of Elrond. If at any point I draw Fear Fire Foes, Gimli can go to the Shire, and then the North will also be at war. And, all right, an elite in Moria. Fair enough. They certainly got the musters they need. Witch King shows up. Yeah, that is the drawback of the dwarves being at war. Though, to be fair, the dwarves being at war sort of can effectively defend all 5 of these victory points. Because it's hard to bring in a big army into Woodland Realm knowing that the dwarves are at war and could just muster up. So I have to be careful. I have to actually be prepared to muster there. I won't always have musters, but it looks like they're going after Lorien. So another elite into into Moria that will end up in Lorien. I move the Fellowship safely. Armies move into Dimril Dell. And notice my opponent is being a little cautious, leaving a regular in Dol Guldur and a regular in Moria. And when you're facing a Shadow, an early Aragorn, leaving these 1 regulars can often be a good strategy. So let's see what happens. I go ahead and move again safely because there are no eyes. And then Lorien gets besieged. I muster what? I mustered the No, I still don't know what I'm doing. I mustered an elite in Erebor and then remembered to activate these nations because the Witch King is in place. So that's what was going on. So I mustered an elite in Erebor. And depending on the situation, you can actually march this army. If you muster up a big army in Erebor, you can march this army down to Dol Guldur or to Mount Gundabad. It takes a few actions, but it can be done. Generally, I prefer to have the North at war to do that, which is why I slightly value Fear Fire Foes over Book of Mazarbul, because, first of all, these northern units are defending fewer victory points. So if you march all of the dwarves away, you're giving up 2 victory points. If you march just the north away, you're only giving up this 1 victory point in Dale. Okay, anyway, they're attacking, Shadow's attacking in Lorien, and I play Confusion against their Foul Stench. And they didn't roll any 1s and 1/6, okay? And then I got no hits. So a little sad, Legolas is not doing great. Okay, Words of Power is nice to cancel Legolas, and they get no hits. I also get no hits. So definitely below average rolls for both of us, probably more below average for me. I get another elite in Erebor. Okay, I like that I'm building that up. And we go to next round. An army moved from minus Morgul into South Ithilien. I'm a little surprised. Why not just continue the attack in Lorien while you had the chance? I guess they were waiting to get more cards. All right, fair enough. 1 I allocated, 3 more rolled, so military will slow down slightly. I get 2 Wills of the West and 3 musters. I'm not sure that I want that many musters, but maybe I do. All right, I go ahead and move because I'd really like to kill off Gandalf. And there's a hit, and there's an eye. So I'm going to land in Moria. And I don't really want to get revealed, but I think I'm going to Moria. No, interesting. Okay, so I go high pass. I'm a little surprised by that, but okay. Fighting Uruk-hai to take care of Lorien. And that, by the way, is the benefit of bringing along the North Dunland unit. It turns on Fighting Uruk-hai. It also turns on all of the Devilry of Orthanc combat effects. Look at that. All right, so Lorien and Devilry of Orthanc. That one regular from North Dunland is doing a lot of work for this siege battle against Lorien. All right, 3 hits, and I get I get 4 back. Okay, so I'm happy. Like, probably Lorien's going to fall, but at least if I can whittle this army down in Lorien a bit, that'll be good. So 3 hits is obviously not great for me. No card, and Legolas fell, and he at least took 2 hits in the end. So not quite as good a defensive Lorien as I'd like to see, but I guess not horrible. Elves are now at war, and now I'm thinking to myself, the Fellowship is going pretty slowly. I have to make sure that I can defend my strongholds, so I'm mustering Gondor towards war in case these units from South Ithilien decide to attack into into Osgiliath at some point, which they do. So they're attacking into Osgiliath. They get no hits, and I'm retreating them to Pelargir, and then I muster an elite into Minas Tirith, and then they besiege Minas Tirith. This army is 9 hit points against my 7 hit point army. I should be able to hold that. Gandalf shows up, happy to have 6 dice starting from turn 4. And now I muster an elite with Aragorn and Dol Amroth. All right, so I'm just shoring up my defenses. I'm not necessarily making any particularly threatening moves. Shadow has discarded Lure of the Ring. So one of the things that happens often when you do an early military strategy as free people is that Shadow will potentially get rid of some corruption cards in favor of focusing on the military defense and offense. All right, 1 I allocated, 2 more rolled, and a bunch of musters, and again, no characters. I only get 1 movement, so that is obviously unpleasant for me. I hide. Shadows gather. Aha, okay. So going from minus Morgul into Minas Tirith, I guess those were just some extra musters that they had left over from last time. I don't exactly remember how those got mustered, but I guess they just got mustered last round and I missed it. All right. I play 5 Galadriel. I'm still planning on destroying the ring eventually. I'm planning on putting up a strong military defense and then destroying the ring. All right, fair enough. Muster an elite in Orthanc. This could be bad. Muster an elite for me and Dol Amroth. Upgrade using Saruman's ability in Orthanc. Another elite in Erebor. Another elite in Orthanc. A leader in Erebor and a regular in Iron Hills. Okay, so I'm preparing to make this army mobile. Now I have an 8-unit army in these 2 areas, so I don't need that much if I'm just planning on defending Erebor. I'm going to plan on going somewhere aggressive with that. And, okay, Fords of Isen gets attacked. Not looking good for Rohan. One of the things, if you're going for military, high military strategy for free people, is that if you let Shadow take Helm's Deep, you don't want it to be super easy for them. So I'm sure I'm going to play scouts. But if you let them put Rohan to war by capturing Helm's Deep, it can actually activate this army in Edoras, and you can muster it up pretty fast and go a lot of places and threaten things. So as long as Shadow isn't moving too quickly militarily, then it might be okay to give up Helm's Deep. So as soon as they play no card, I think to myself, it's worth... Like, Scouts is great. I like Scouts as... I like Red Arrow as a card effect, and I have this Palantir right here because I can get an elite and a leader in Edoras, but saving these 2 units guaranteed into Helm's Deep is certainly worth it. So I'm sure I'm going to play Scouts here. Yeah. All right, and they have to leave a few units behind in Orthanc because they don't want to lose Saruman that early to ends. I don't think. All right, I put Elven Cloaks in the pool. Am I ever going to get to Mordor? I guess we'll see. Helm's Deep gets besieged, and now, Rohan is only one away from war. It seems like they're going to try and attack in Helm's Deep, and then I'm just going to be able to muster up in Edoras. Okay. Guards of the Citadel, very happy to see that against Minas Tirith. Bilbo Song could be useful. 0 eyes because the Fellowship did not move. Right, that's a good strategy. Probably they're going to roll 1. I do have 6 dice, so if they happen to roll 0, I don't remember exactly what the odds are in with 9 dice. Shall we calculate it? What are the odds of rolling 0 eyes on 9 dice? I'm going to take a quick look. So all we do is 5/6. That's the odds of not rolling an eye to the 9th power because we're doing it 9 times. Something's wrong. 5/6 to the, getting a very low number. I'm thinking, so the, 1 minus that. The odds of rolling no eyes, what is it to the 7th power? Oh, my parentheses were off. You have to do 5/6 in parentheses to the 9th power. Otherwise, you're doing 5 divided by 6 to the 9th power, which is very... Okay, anyway. 20%. 20% chance of no eyes. Parentheses are important. Here we go. Moving on. So if he allocates no eyes, if they allocate no eyes, and they roll 0... but instead they roll 3. All right, fair enough. All right, and I only get 1 movement again. It's not really what I want to see. Okay, so I draw a strategy card. They play Black Captain commands to come take care of Helm's Deep. That seems nice for them. I'm just going to try and whittle this army down and survive. Or not survive, but, I want it to be not easy for them. I want this army to be weak in Helm's Deep after they take it. I don't really think I'm going to survive through it. So they get 2 hits, which I would... No, they canceled my shield wall, so that was nice. They do get 2 hits. I get none back. Sad. We'd expect at least 1 there. They press, and they get their hit, and I get no hits. So I managed to inflict only 1 point of damage on that army. Pretty sad. I start mustering up in Rohan, right? So now this army is just going to muster as fast as I can. And they're going to come try and take it, but that's a 7 hit point army in a city. Probably you'll get it, but... All right, so they attack Edoras here. They don't play a card. What am I going to do? I'm playing charge here? All right. That's respectable. So charge in this case, I like Guards of the Citadel very much as a card effect, but if I can whittle down this army, this is going to reduce their leadership or reduce their combat dice, so it's worth trying it. All right, so here's my charge. 1 hit, right? So that reduces their leadership by 1. Could matter. Probably not, because they'll probably roll 1/6 on the initial combat roll, but we'll see. All right, but they didn't. So I actually saved myself a little bit of damage by reducing their leadership with that charge. All right. Also, I just inflicted a hit, which is good. And they get no hits, and I get 1 hit. All right, so now look at this army. This is a 6 hit point army against a 7 hit point army. Yes, your leadership is better, but I could have end cards. There could be bad things in store for you. So they press, and now they had to whittle down their army. Not whittle, but they had to spread their army thinner. And I retreated to fold, and now muster an elite and fold. And now, I don't think you can take 9 hit points against 5. definitely a problem now for the Witch King. That is not looking great. So now they start mustering up in Orthanc more. And if I ever get any Ents, like the Witch King could be in real trouble. All right, I moved the Fellowship because I still want to keep hope alive. They do get a hit. I don't like seeing that hit. And now the Hobbits are going to go somewhere. So where are they going to go? They end up in Carrick? Okay. So if this Erebor army comes, if the North ever gets to war, the reason why I'm not super eager to put the North to war right now, myself, is because then they can get the Mouth of Sauron. So I will say they've had to use their musters to reinforce their armies. So they mustered quite a bit in Minas Morgul. They mustered in Moria. They mustered in Orthanc. So the Southrons and Easterlings are not at war yet. All right, what are they doing with this character die? Okay, so they're attacking in Minas Tirith. And now this is where I feel the pain of not being able to play Guards of the Citadel in Minas Tirith. But to be honest, I'm pretty happy with this army staying strong and having an extra elite if I ever get House of Stewards or Grey Company or Imrahil of Dol Amroth or any of those reinforcements. Okay, so they're attacking Minas Tirith. I also, by the way, Path of the Woses can teleport this army to Osgiliath and cause quite a lot of trouble. So I want, so far I haven't really whittled down their armies very much. I would like to whittle down this army and so they have a weak army left. Let's see what I play, if anything. Oh, I just see that I have Dead Men of Dunharrow too. It'll take a long time for Strider to get up to Rohan, but all right, so I don't play a card. They play Deadly Strife. Obviously not good for me. They only get 2 hits. So you expect 3 3/4 hits on a Deadly Strife with full leadership. So that is definitely below average for them. Not good luck. I get 3 hits, which is probably slightly below average for me, but pretty close. So I'm happy. I feel like I escaped that with something that could have been a lot worse. All right, so they play another strategy card. Another Deadly Strife. Okay, so they are spending their combat cards to take out Minas Tirith. I think that's a great choice because if you can take it out while you can, that's good. That's only 1. Okay, that's 5. Yeah, so, dice average out often over time, and they only got 2 hits on the first Deadly Strife, but they got 5 hits on the second Deadly Strife, and that was very much average. 7 hits across 2 Deadly Strifes is exactly what you would expect, or very close to what you would expect. Let's see if I can at least dish out some in return. 5 hits back. Okay, so they spent some big combat cards. They managed to take Minas Tirith. They're up to 6 victory points. Okay. So I do have Path of the Woses. I don't know that I play it right now. Maybe. So they have 3 points in Rohan, but they're kind of tenuous. And Lorien and Minas Tirith. So that's their 7. And the Fellowship is nowhere close to destroying the ring. All right, I draw a strategy card here. Okay. Not looking good. Not looking good for free people. Yeah. I guess we'll see what happens. All right, so armies reposition. I do feel like, look, Dol Amroth is very well held. The Dew line right now is very well held, though if I send this army out anywhere to try and get a military victory, Dew line is going to become weak very fast. So it's a little tough. At least I have 6 dice. Maybe there are things I can do. Riders of Theoden. Riders of Theoden can be quite useful if you have a companion. So you can play Riders of Theoden in Edoras or in any region in Rohan containing a companion. There's some shenanigans you can do if, not in this situation, but if like they leave nobody in Helm's Deep and then you move Gandalf to Fords of Isen and then you play Riders of Theoden and then you can just move into Helm's Deep. That can be fun. All right, so I declare the fellowship because it turns off various cards like Nazgul Search and Nazgul Strike, allowing them to reposition Nazgul with a Palantir. They allocate one eye, they roll one more, and I get a bunch of musters again. I don't know, maybe I'm happy with these musters because I can just go crazy in Rohan. Riders of Theoden. I don't have any companions there. I can't play that yet. Nope, undo. Okay, I get a Dwarven regular in... No. What did I do? I got a Dwarven regular in Iron Hills. Sorry. I got a regular in Fold, and then I got a regular in Erebor. That's what I did. It was a little confusing with the undo. Okay, they muster an elite in Orthanc. And notice they are, putting a lot of effort into their military defense. And now Rohan is a little bit of a mess because I still have this mustering point, and the Witch King can't really safely attack into that right now. I probably need to get Gandalf there to help defend that army. Rohan regular, another regular into Fold, and a leader into Erebor. They draw a card. Day Without Dawn could be useful, especially when I'm rolling 6 dice. I get another regular into Rohan. So just look at the mess that I've caused for them in Rohan. And I'm at some point presumably going to move a companion here and also play Riders of Theoden. Interesting. So I get a Gondor leader in Dol Amroth. I'm like full in Erebor. I have a single leader left. The entire Dwarven pool has been mustered, except for a single leader. That's fun. All right, Fords of Eisen and Umbar. All right, I really do not want them to have Corsairs of Umbar. They don't have Corsairs of Umbar. Maybe now is my chance, because I kind of wanted to bring Gandalf to Fold anyway to turn off all this Nazgul leadership. Maybe now I'm going to run away with Aragorn. Let's see. And I kind of also wanted Aragorn to get up to Rohan anyway to be able to play Dead Men of Dunharrow at some point. And I actually have a decent army in Pelargir already. So interesting. So I think, okay, so I run away. I move Aragorn to Osgiliath. I move Gandalf to Fold. I move Gimli over to this North Downs unit. I don't know how much that'll matter. And I move the hobbits over to Old Forest Road because maybe at some point... I think the reason to do that is maybe this army in Erebor is going to end up wanting to attack Dol Guldur. And so they can go Erebor, Dale, Old Forest Road, Eastern Mirkwood, or Narrows of the Forest to get to Dol Guldur. And so now they'll pick up the hobbits along the way. So that's why I bother doing that. If this army is going to end up going to Mount Gundabad, they'll pass through Old Forest Road anyway. So I'm good either way. All right. It's fun to have companions on the map. This army has been merged up in Westamnet. It's still not big enough to take on Fold. I mean, maybe they're going to throw themselves into it, but it's a little risky because if the Witch King throws himself into this army in Fold, and then it goes poorly, like if I have an end card or something like that, then this army can get wiped out on the counterattack, and I can just walk into Helm's Deep. Okay, so they have now vacated, they've fully vacated Orthanc, and they're demonstrating that they don't have Corsairs of Umbar because they're moving this army from Umbar to West Horondor. And it makes sense to subjugate, try and just get this Rohan and Gondor under control, or at least Rohan, Pelargir, and just be stuck with Dol Amroth. They leave a few behind in Umbar. I don't know exactly why they need to leave that many, but okay. They also have nobody in Orthanc, but they're definitely... Wait a second. Did they just... Maybe they just undid. Okay, sorry. They undid... And now they're okay, now, whoa, it's a little tricky to follow what's going on. Okay, so they moved. Okay, this is cool. So they've moved armies. They've strengthened Westamnet, And now they've blocked off Eastamnet. So if they continue to surround Gandalf, I may actually have a problem and may need to attack out of there. So we'll see what happens. I have not yet moved the Fellowship this turn, so I want to use this character die to move once, but we'll see. So I said, oh, I wish I hadn't revealed Theoden. Okay, it's not that big of a deal. I don't know. Okay, so I go ahead and play Theoden now. I have a giant army. They play Ringwraiths Abroad, moving. Okay, so now Gandalf is completely surrounded. To be fair, I have a 14 hit point army against this 10 hit point army. So I'm not like super worried. But at the same time, I think that I don't want to risk it. So I'm probably going to attack out of there. Let's see what happens. Shadow, I'm not sure that Shadow needed to do all of this to surround Gandalf, but I'm certainly not making progress with the Fellowship. This is a gigantic army that can go take some stronghold and then probably still hold a stronghold. So if it were me, I'm looking for something like Dol Guldur. Maybe I'm coming down towards Mordor. I also still have Path of the Woses, so if I had something other than a character die, I don't think I'm going to use a ring. It's very nice when you're going for a military victory to not have for Shadow to not have any rings. So there's a little bit of, I'm guessing I go to Eastamnet, and then if they attack into me, it's risky because I can go to retreat to Fangorn and then attack into Fords of Isen and sort of circumvent them and then be prepared to take Orthanc or retake Helm's Deep. It's a little bit of a mess. All right, I move the Fellowship instead because I'm like, go ahead, bring it, Witch King. All right, that's cool. I get hit again on a 6. So when you're playing this military, like really strong military for free people, you want to move once a turn and then hopefully not get hit on 6s. So this is definitely slowing me down. It's not a reveal. So this is one benefit of having very few people in the Fellowship. These tiles, I mean, you don't want to get hit at all because you need to have those gray tiles still in the pool, but it is nice because they don't reveal you. So that's good at least. All right. Fold gets attacked by the Witch King. Definitely a bold attack. Maybe they have Swarm of Bats. No, they don't have Swarm of Bats. So this is, I think, pretty risky given that I have 3 character cards and I haven't played any Ents. So there could be some bad things happening. Gandalf obviously shines. They play a strategy card. I'm playing Daylight, I'm sure. So We Come to Kill is very effective. Let's see how many hits I get, though. They get 3 hits. Wow. Great for I mean, you'd expect 2, I guess. Because you get 1/3 and then 1/3. Yeah, close to 2, so it's not that different. I get they say 2 and I say that's 3. Yep. Okay. I get 2 hits back. All right, not horrible. So they are whittling down. They did get more against me. And then they get 1 on the extra attack from We Come to Kill, which is exactly what you'd expect. So I still have 10 hit points to their 8, and they're pressing. I can't retreat anywhere. So let's see what I do. They will start to lose leadership. This may be a situation where I play Sudden Strike. Yeah. So it's kind of a lame Sudden Strike because it's only 1, and Gandalf doesn't have... Gandalf doesn't provide his leadership since he's shining. But if I manage to get a hit, it takes care of a leader, so maybe it's worth it. I miss. All right. And then he gets 3 more hits against me. Obviously good. And I get only 1 hit back. So not looking great for Gandalf's army. Now it's the exact same size army. Continue to press. So Witch King bold, but does have superior... still has superior leadership. No card. I'm playing another Sudden Strikes, or maybe I'm playing Heroic Death. I don't know. Let's see. All right, so I play my Heroic Death here. I don't want Gandalf to die. I don't want to take a lot of hits. I have a leader to lose at least. That's something. He only gets one hit, so that's obviously good. And then I come in with one hit back. So I lose the leader instead of the hit point. And now he has to stop because I'm 2 hit points ahead, and it'd be a little too risky. Fair enough. I used up a lot of combat cards there. I still have Dead Men of Dunharrow. So what happened? He lost an elite, maybe because he didn't realize. Yeah, it looks like he lost a whole elite, but okay. So I'm glad I caught that. That's nice. You want to be honest. You don't want to get extra hits for nothing. So good sportsmanship past Ira. Glad you noticed that. And now he's thinking about continuing. That'd be funny if it. Okay, is he going to continue now? Oh wow. Okay, so. This would be really funny if, like, I genuinely don't remember what happens in this battle right now, but, like, if reminding him that he only took one hit causes him to press and then something horrible happens, let's see what happens. All right, so no card. Am I going to play the sudden strike here? Like, I really don't want Gandalf to die, and I really do want the Witch King to die. So, okay, I'm saving Dead Men of Dunharrow. I'm like, you can do it, Gandalf. Do it. 2 hits, 1 hit. All right, this is really tough battle. We're rolling exactly even. So he has no leadership. I have no leadership. Oh, I see. Sudden strike doesn't make any sense anymore. So he's just pressing. No card, no card. 1 hit against me. Wow, this is an epic battle in Fold. I'm a little surprised. I don't know exactly what the odds were. I think I've had slightly bad luck in these combat rolls because I definitely started with quite a few more hit points. He did have a little more leadership. But, okay, it's no leadership to no leadership right now. Gandalf is doing his job. Let's see what happens. Oh, there it is. There it is. 4 hits back. Okay, so 4 hits back, and Gandalf only takes 1. So that's the risk. That's the risk. And I said, my past self said, that battle shouldn't have been anywhere that close, in my opinion. All right. So I said that I started with 12 hit points, but I think I started with 14 hit points. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay. So, all right. Maybe I don't. Okay, so the Fellowship declares again, it's good to be in a settlement because then Foul Thing from the Deep, Isildur's Bane, and Orc Patrol can't be played, so it's worth doing that declaration. Plus, again, now it makes Nazgul Strike and things like that unplayable. I'm happy to see Athelos. It's a good combat effect. Anduril, if I get Aragorn in play. And I'm assuming we're going to see an attack into, man, so this is not the ideal role, right? Like, I don't want to be sitting there doing nothing. I don't think I want all these musters, especially if he plays Day Without Dawn. All right, so I attack into Westamnet. Obviously, we need to take care of the Witch King. I don't play a card, and Rohan gets the job done. And now, so this is interesting, right? Because I really want to take Helm's Deep. I also want to take Orthanc. And there are some very weak armies sitting around. But look at how little movement I got. Especially if Day Without Dawn gets played here. We'll move my next die to casualties. Okay, that's nice. He's trying to remember to lose the dice. Okay, armies move. So an army just moved from Druiden Forest to Fold to take care of that mustering point, and then covered up Helm's Deep. So what do I do here? We know that Shadow has Day Without Dawn. I don't know how worried I am about that Will of the West. I draw a strategy card. Okay, so it's just not a great hand for me. And how much of my force? So I still have a little bit of the Rohan force pool available. And I guess I'm thinking I can't, with this roll, I can't actually go and take Orthanc, especially because Shadow can muster, and it's just not going to be enough. I'm a little surprised I'm not trying to draw Ents, but after all of that, how much progress has Free People really made? Like, yes, I just killed the Witch King. That's great. But Shadow still has 7 victory points. The Rohan force pool is close to depleted. I do have a nice army up and due, but it's not that mobile right now. All right, so I drew a strategy card. They muster a regular in Orthanc and a Nazgul. Okay, they need to rebuild their leadership. That's fine. They have the musters for it. I muster in Westamnet and then a leader in Erebor. That's cool. So I have now fully mustered the dwarven the dwarven force pool. All dwarves have been mustered, and that's a pretty good army that can go do something. But I have no victory points. So even if this army goes and runs and takes Dol Guldur, or goes and takes Mount Gundabad, how do I prevent Shadow from coming in and taking out Erebor? I will say the musters have not they don't have. I keep thinking at this point in the game they would be able to play Day Without Dawn. They can't play Day Without Dawn. So that's probably why I'm not rushing to use this Will of the West. Good job, Past Ira. Okay. They muster using the Voice of Saruman, and then they play Rage of the Dunlendings. Okay, so where are they going to go rage to? Maybe I should have been more cautious with my musters so that I had the defense necessary for Rivendell. No, okay, they're coming south. So they come south to the Gap of Rohan. They're going to come try and stabilize the Rohan situation. I draw another strategy card. I don't know exactly what I'm looking for. I guess just more strategy card. Maybe scouts would be good if I get attacked. Army move into Fords of Eisen. Okay. So wouldn't it be cool to have some Ent cards? Maybe I should have been drawing character cards there to get some Ents. Because it would be nice to kill off Saruman and the Witch King on the same round. That would be cool. All right. So I muster again into Westamnet. I need to make sure these guys are strong enough. And then where is this muster going? To Gondor? All right. Another leader in Dol Amroth. And I guess my thinking is I'm saving this elite for something. I preferred to have a third point of leadership than... Oh, I have Imrahil of Dol Amroth. Right. So one of the benefits of having a captain in the stronghold is that you can lose a regular, leaving only 4 units in the stronghold, but then still being able to roll 5 combat dice because of the captain. And then if at any point the combat ends, even after 1 round, you can then immediately refill with Imrahil of Dol Amroth. So I'm trying to make this fine balance of some progress with the Fellowship, strong military defense, and also some military offense. So we'll see how it goes in this battle of Edoras. All right, so they get So now this is a pretty powerful army. 9 hit points to my 6, and I just have to hope, right? Like I just have to wait and hope. All right, so they attack. I would love to have scouts, but I don't have scouts. It's sad. They're playing some strategy card. What do I play here? It's also a little weird I didn't get Aragorn up here. I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. All right. So I played Imrahil of Dol Amroth because I was worried it was some like powerful attack card. They played Swarm of Bats because they were worried about me having scouts. So great play all around. Obviously a little sad to lose Imrahil, but it doesn't look like Dol Amroth is going to be attacked anytime soon, and I do have Círdan ships on top of that. And I can just muster in there if I want to before they arrive. They get 2 hits, which is basically exactly what you'd expect. I get 2 hits, exactly what you'd expect. So these are very normal rolls. I'm down to 4. Right. So If they pressed, then I would be able to move into Fangorn. And then if I was holding an int in my hand, Gandalf would be in Fangorn, and I would take out Saruman. I would be very patient to have not played an int yet, and for combat effect yet, but that's cool. All right, so I go ahead and move the Fellowship because I want to keep the Fellowship moving along. They hit me again. So, man, I've gotten hit 3 6s in a row. I've been moving only once a turn, very slowly, but they're still hitting me. So, obviously not good. And now an eye on top of that to reveal me is really slowing me down, and I take the Corruption. So be it. All right, so they move a regular into Fangorn, and then they move up to East Rune. All right, getting that army ready. So now Gandalf is definitely has some possible concerns. And now Éomer can be good, but I only have one regular left in this force pool, and I'm not sure I want to go toe-to-toe with this army in Fords of Isen. We'll see what happens. I would love to have more leadership in this army. There have been a lot of rounds of combat where I haven't maximized leadership. Okay, let's see what I discard. Okay, they get Shadow Lengthens. Certainly can be good. What do I discard? I discard Éomer because I guess I have better attacking cards this no quarter. And I'm saving Bilbo Song, Athelas, Mithrocote, and Sting all as Fellowship protection cards. So I'm still hedging my bets on getting the Fellowship to Mordor. All right, so they got a pretty bad roll here. This is a very bad roll. They had to allocate one eye, which, by the way, is another benefit of keeping the Fellowship moving. Let's see what roll I get. Again, we'd expect 4 attacks. Both Wills of the West, Character Dice, and Army Musters give me 4 attacks. So I'm definitely rolling a lot of Palantirs, probably more than I want, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so I start by attacking Fold with Gandalf because I don't want to get boxed in there. Gandalf is shining because I don't want to give them the reroll. I get my hit, they get a hit back. Bothersome, but so be it. And I'm thinking about leaving a unit behind. I guess my thinking is at this point, Gandalf is going to have to run away somewhere. At some point, I'm going to draw some Ents. And then Gandalf, maybe at end of turn, can run away to Fangorn. I don't know what's going to happen with this army. I guess I feel like, let's slow down. And they only got 1 attack. So I guess that's why I'm thinking Gandalf is safe right now for the moment. Oh, Shadow Lengthens. Very good. 1, 2. And bringing from Nirn up to minus Morgul. Okay, so Gandalf now is like, well, good try, Rohan. You put up a lot of defense. You wasted a lot of time. Was it enough time for Frodo? I don't know. So I move companions again. I get my hobbits, 1 hobbit to Dale, 1 hobbit to Woodland Realm. And I get Aragorn to Eastamnet to prepare for Dead Men of Dunharrow. And Gandalf is now in Fangorn, so if I have an Ent, it's going to be great. Now, they muster in Orthanc. Makes sense. And I don't play Ents. Now, I'm just noticing I have these Palantirs, and it wasn't really that great of a roll, but I can use Palantir Dead Men of Dunharrow, get 3 hit points. Palantir Círdan's Ships, get 4 hit points in Pelargir, and then muster that last elite in Pelargir. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I have an incredibly powerful army in Pelargir. Let's see if that happens. All right, so I hide the Fellowship. I do have to keep them moving along. All right, Bilbo Song. Interesting. So I guess I'm waiting. I'm just taking it easy and waiting for a more opportune moment because I didn't have that many dice left. And the Fellowship wasn't moving along yet. All right, so they muster more in Orthanc, and they move from Eastamnet to Western Brownlands. Why is that happening? I'm not sure. Maybe this army is now coming up to take care of Woodland Realm. I don't know. No, undo, undo. Just muster, muster and Orthanc. That's what happened instead. That makes more sense to me. They're safe from Ents now. So even if I draw, even if they thought I was holding one Ent and might play it if I draw a second one, now they're quite safe from Ents. But simply moving Gandalf there did sort of slow them down and waste some of their dice. So, all right, I'm using a Gondor regular to Pelargir. Okay, I guess. And a leader to Dol Amroth. So Dol Amroth is looking pretty good. I can see that I have these 3 regulars that I can get for Deadmen through Deadmen of Dunharrow. And then I can muster one more time. Otherwise, all Gondor leadership is gone. All Dwarven leadership and regulars are gone. I did a good job so far, really, using my musters. I wonder if I'm very high on musters right now. Let's look at the statistics. Yeah, I'm +7 on musters right now. Wow. Okay, well, at least I'm trying to hold the line. All right. They play Shelob's Lair. Okay, so there's still some respect for destroying the ring. And now I end. Okay, so I wanted to end the turn playing Deadmen of Dunharrow, and then hope that they have another bad round of action dice. So I didn't move the Fellowship. Zero Eyes. This is only 3 attacks. We'd expect 4. So, all right. I get a bunch of Wills of the West, and boy, am I glad the Southrons and Easterlings are not at war yet. I pass, and they start going to war. So as soon as you see that, you have to worry a little. I move the Fellowship because I want to keep that going. Safe, that's good. They get the Southrons and Easterlings to war now. Great. And I use another die to move again. All right. So I guess my thinking here is they've really been defending well. They've been spending a lot of dice to muster, to keep, Mordor closed, to keep Orthanc closed, to whittle my armies down. And they're holding, a lot of places. So look, against one eye, let's keep making progress to the Fellowship. Like, it's not that bad of a pool, especially if I have a lot of time. And where are they going to take? Like, Erebor is just a beast. And they're not taking, maybe eventually they'll make some progress against Pelargir, but they're certainly not getting Dol Amroth if Aragorn sits here. Like, so I can save these musters to defend Woodland Realm and Rivendell. So it's interesting. They really got to 7 victory points quite fast, but I've held them at 7 for a long time, and I don't see an easy way for them to get 3 more. Could you take Pelargir and Dale and the Shire? Like, pretty darn hard to take Dale against this Erebor force. Okay. They miss. Westamnet from Eastamnet. So they're just cleaning up Rohan. Yeah, probably worth it. They kill it. I move a 3rd time. Obviously, I don't want to lose tiles and take corruption, but I want to get to Mordor next turn. So I'm moving now. 50-50 shot. They hit me. That's fair. One damage. All right. I see. I'm upset about the reveal. I think I'm upset about the reveal because most of these cards would not reveal me. And now next turn I'm going to have to hide and move a couple of times. That said, it's bad now, but it's good later because when I'm in Mordor, if I make it to Mordor, there will still be a lot of these gray tiles in the pool in Mordor, which is nice. All right, I'm at 1 corruption. Fold from Westmeadow, so they're just cleaning up. All right, so that's the end of Rohan. And I say, good effort, Rohan. And, yep. I muster my last elite in Pelargir. I'm just holding cities. And now they're moving armies around. What did they do? They're just drawing a card. Okay, so they drew a character card. Now they're switching to some corruption. And I then move armies. So I now have a decent army in Dale that can now hold Dale. Let's see the way I end up. All right, so Erebor is buff. Dale is also pretty buff. And then they start worrying about Dol Guldur, and they muster in Dol Guldur, which, to be fair, I could have through a day and a night, and I could get right there from Dale. And it does leave out one regular and one leader because the North isn't at war. But all right, I play Círdan's ships in Pelargir. Interesting. It's a little nerve-wracking because if Rivendell gets attacked or if Woodland Realm gets attacked, I still need some reinforcements. But probably I'm okay. And they really do not have armies very near that. And the dwarves are now defending, really successfully defending up in Dew. All right. They play Breaking to do another corruption. All right, nothing I could really do about that because I wasn't going to give them another ring right now. I get rid of Swords and Eriador. I keep House of Stewards because Brave Stand can be useful when you have companions around. And also, I can use it. Do I have any Gondor? No, I have literally no Gondor units left. Wow, full Gondor mustered and full dwarf mustered. They get rid of Grond. No Witch King. All right, they have to allocate an eye. They roll 2 more. And this sort of thing can happen more when you've killed a minion and you're rolling 6 dice as free people. And so it allows you to take the last action of the round. All right. I'm willing to leave One Will of the West up for grabs against Day Without Dawn because I anticipate at some point in the future rolling more Wills of the West, and I don't super need it right now, and then it gives me a lot of freedom in the future. So I think that's my thinking. They muster more Nazgul because they need to rebuild their leadership. I move the Fellowship. They're safe. And they muster an elite in Umbar. Now, are they planning on playing Corsairs? I don't think so. Have they? I don't think they've. Yes, they haven't played Corsairs yet. I remembered 2 Deadly Strifes, but I wasn't sure if it was Corsairs, and it's not. So maybe I'm thinking they're going to use Corsairs, at which point I'm fine with that because I can go take it from Pelargir. I play Fearfire Foes. Okay, so this is great. So once I'm close to getting into Mordor, and they don't have any musters right now. So now I'm happy for the North to be at war because now I can unlock this whole force pool, which I need to be able to productively use these musters. So the North has just been unlocked. I'm going to muster up a giant army in Dale. And I bring Gandalf down to Pelargir. This is a very powerful army. So if I give up Dale and I give up Pelargir, they're still only at 9 victory points. So this army is pretty soon going to be mobile. And this army is certainly mobile because I can give up that 1 victory point. All right. That's pretty awesome. Armies coming down to take care of Gondor. I muster an elite in Dale. They move Nazgul. Okay, they moved Nazgul around. I get another elite in Dale. And now, do they have cruel weather? Do they have anything bad for the Fellowship? No. So they move Nazgul. And now, this is interesting. Would you move the Fellowship to get into Mordor right now? Or do you do something else? And I'm guessing, like right now, current IRA would say, don't move the Fellowship again right now. I'm not in that much of a rush. I'm actually in a pretty comfortable situation militarily because I can muster in Woodland Realm to defend this. Erebor is defended. If they come towards Rivendell, I can muster there. So either Woodland Realm or either Rivendell or Woodland Realm I can defend with the elves in my force pool. Plus I still have more northern units to defend. Dol Amaroth as a rock. So I think I would not move here, and I would just use this for more mustering, or possibly to get my armies going. But I think more mustering. Ha! Okay, so past Ira said, look, you have to destroy the ring eventually, or at least you have to threaten to destroy the ring. It's probably not going to get that much better. You're probably not going to get revealed here, right? Like the only tile that reveals you, even if you get hit, is an eye. So yeah, maybe you're taking some corruption, but you can go slowly in Mordor. You have Mithrocote and Sting. You have Athelas. You can reveal with using Gollum as guide. So it's some corruption. Okay, fair enough. I respect that too. Good to get into Mordor. So they hit me. Oh, that was unlikely. That was very unlikely. They got all of the eyes, and now, wow. I mean, they'd probably hit. That's likely, but only 1 out of 11. Like, that was a low chance. Okay. So, there was a little discussion about, my opponent saying yes and was happy, and I was like, oh my gosh. Well, whatever. That's fine. Certainly that would happen in an in-person game, right? You'd see the reaction. All right. This is an epic game. I'm glad to be surprised by the past. So I get into Mordor. I took a whole bunch of corruption, right? That was a 3 corruption. I just soaked up a whole bunch of corruption, four corruption from that. Okay, so I get it. I have the Great Company now. I got Thranduil's archers. That's nice. And the Fellowship is looking a lot worse. So I hide. I'm going to keep the threat going. They play Day Without Dawn now, which quite honestly, I'm probably fine with. I'm not in that much of a rush. They notably did not get any muster this turn. So even though I'm in Mordor, they don't get to get the mouth. And at this point, I got a good number of attacks, and I think I can start getting my military going. All right, so I'm attacking from Pelarg. Oh, they're attacking from Osgiliath into Pelargir. Okay, that makes sense because they want to whittle down this army. Fair enough. I do have double Brave Stand, so I think they're going to have some trouble. We'll see what happens. I do shine with Gandalf. They have 1 leadership from the Warg. They don't play a card. Do I play Valor here? What am I playing? Okay, I want to just inflict as much damage on this army as possible so they stop attacking me, and I still have a mobile army to do something. 2 hits, and I alert them they have 1 reroll. So obviously that's 1 more hit than you'd expect from that, but okay. I get 3 hits back. So that's fine. Now they're pressing. I'm staying. I'm going to play my Brave Stand here. They get 2 hits. We'd expect only 1 there. And I get 2 hits. We'd expect probably a little more than that with 7 dice. I guess 2. And they stop here. So that definitely weakened that army. Is this army now strong enough to still go attack somewhere and get some victory points? I don't know. Mordor looks pretty well defended. Umbar looks pretty well defended. So maybe I'm like, okay, we're going for the ring plan. I muster more in Dale. Okay. I might have waited slightly on that muster just to see if they're going to go towards any Elven Stronghold, but okay. They drew a strategy card. I play Mithrocote and Sting, the best card for the Fellowship. They do not have many character cards left, so that is one slight saving grace for me. I guess I'm still planning on destroying the ring and just doing it really slowly because this pool is actually pretty friendly to Gollum. I can, especially if I have as much time as I need. They play an Orc Patrol. They draw 1. Obviously, I don't love that. I think I'm just going to reveal, right? So I take no corruption and reveal. And then I hide. Okay. And now they move from Gorgoroth to Minas Morgul and Minas Tirith to Osgiliath. No. From East Rune to South Rune. East Rune to North Rune. Okay. Um, and now I move the Fellowship once because I don't want to take corruption damage from eyes, but it's unlikely there are going to be fewer than 2 eyes, so I'm just going to move once. And there's a 1. So I'm assuming I'm revealing here because I have plenty of time. So I reveal. I take no corruption. They move armies from Minas Morgul and Mornon, and they're going to try and reposition again and take out Pelargir again. So this is just, Pelargir is often a pretty strong defensive point because you can muster there. You can play Círdan's ships there, and especially with Gandalf and Aragorn, they don't have much leadership. I will say the Mouth of Sauron can come join. The fact that there's this elite here from Isengard is quite good. So they're playing a very cautious, perhaps appropriately cautious military strategy. They took complete control over Rohan. It took a while, but they took complete control over it. They've taken over Minas Tirith, and they're funneling armies down into this. And they're keeping their strongholds well defended. What does that mean for free people? It means you go really slowly, but you still make progress through the ring to destroy the ring. Because eventually, yes, Shadow will be able to whittle down your armies and eventually get 10 victory points. But the Fellowship also eventually will be able to destroy the ring if you reveal every opportunity you have with Gollum. Like, how much corruption has Gollum saved? At least 2 already. And saved a reveal back here. So Gollum is a good guide. Smeagol. Okay. Gollum, but we'll think well of him. New Powers Rising gets thrown away. It is very rare that I see that card discarded. But in this situation, I can see why they would. I draw Celeborn's Galadriel. Very happy to see this daylight effect. A little belated on the ends. I don't think that's going to be relevant, but we'll see. Okay. They roll 1 eye. They allocate 1 eye and roll no more. Happy to see that because my plan is to destroy the ring. And I get this crazy roll of Will of the West, and I am so happy they've already played Day Without Dawn. So this is an incredible roll for me, extremely flexible. I can do anything I want with it. What am I going to do? I don't know. Start by hiding the Fellowship. That seems good. They play The Ring is Mine. All right, that's a great red tile to have in the pool. I say nice top deck because I knew that they didn't have any character cards. I'm also drawing character cards. All right. So I'm trying to get to more blue tiles. I'm trying to get to There's Another Way. They draw, wow, another red tile. Also good for them. That's great. And now I move because I'm like, in case they just drew a red tile, I might as well move. It's not getting better than this. And they get a 0. So I get a 0. So that's great. And this is the payoff of all of those eyes drawn outside of Mordor, because instead of drawing those eyes, instead of drawing these gray tiles outside of Mordor, or this gray tile outside of Mordor, I drew all of these eyes. And so as long as I can go slowly, this is working out to my benefit. Another red tile. Okay, so now the Mouth of Sauron gets to arrive. I'm moving again because there are a bunch of red tiles. I'm holding my strongholds. And I'm anticipating at some point I'm going to draw these red tiles. I do have Mithril Coat and Sting. All right, Shelob. Yeah, that happens. So I think I want to redraw this because that's a lot of corruption, and I don't like red tiles. Ooh. That's a little bad luck. I mean, I had blue tiles in there from the beginning, and there were not red tiles in there from the beginning. So definitely a bit of bad Mordor luck. That's how it goes. So Fellowship is stopped, revealed, 1 corruption, and Shelob goes back in the pool. Not great. Armies move around. From Orthanc to Gap of Rohan is a little surprising. And it sort of makes me tempted now, like I have the Ent. So like I could move Gandalf all the way up. 1, 2, 3, 4. I could move Gandalf to Fangorn. That'd be funny. Um, I muster another elite in Dale. So I do have this like backup plan of going for a military victory if there's some crazy bad roll. And now look what they did. So they moved this army from Orthing to Gap of Rohan to Drew Wythe Iower, and now they used up their muster, so they don't have any muster. I wonder if I'm sending Gandalf to Fangorn. Gandalf to Fangorn and Gimli over to Gimli to North Downs. Hobbits all in Dale. Wow. So they're not going to be happy about that. So Pelargir from Osgiliath. They get 2 hits, pretty good. I get 2 hits back. And great. So now I'm just like, you know what? You can have Pelargir. I'm going to defend Dol Amroth forever. And Saruman's going to die next round. All right. I got Dane Ironfoot's Guard, not so useful. And I did get Elven Robe, so that could be good. Often, I will go alone is not so useful if you don't have anybody in the Fellowship, but with Daring Defiance and companions in battles, it can be good. So I definitely get rid of Dane Ironfoot's Guard, and I get rid of Thranduil's Archers. It can be nice to have the flexibility to muster there, but I'm thinking I'm just going to hold. I'm just going to hold here. All right, so allocate 1 eye, roll 1 more, and then I get this great roll again. So definitely have had good rolls while in Mordor. Didn't love those red tiles. All right, Ents have to be played first to take out Saruman guaranteed before there's a chance to muster. And then because Gandalf is in Fangorn, I get to play another card, and I play Elven Robe. So Elven Robe goes into the pool, and I'm happy to do that. So that was pretty pleasant. 2 minions killed. It's not that often you get to kill 2 minions. An elite to Umbar. Now, I'm a little worried about Corsairs of Umbar without getting in there, because I want my companions in there. I want these elites in there. So I wonder if I take a... Yeah. Okay, so I go ahead and move in right now because I want to make sure this is very heavily defended. And I don't know if this is appropriate to go from Dale to Northern Rovanian. I guess I'm just threatening shenanigans. I will note that there's this option, given these rolls where you really don't have that much movement, there's an option to split off the army from Dol Amroth to come back up to Orthanc, particularly if I get through a Dana Knight, which I have not drawn yet, and I don't think so. I'm pretty sure I would have saved that. Yeah, so I have not gotten through a Dana Knight yet. There's a good chance I will draw that at some point, and Orthanc is open right now. So we'll see what happens. There are possibilities. I'm deciding how much to leave in Dale. And my thinking is Power of Don Bombadil helps protect the Shire, and I'm willing to give up Dale if I need to, and hold Woodland Realm in exchange for starting to have some military threats with this army in Northern Rovanian. It can come take Dol Guldur. It can potentially get all the way over to Moria. It can also just like threaten Dol Guldur and then just keep going and completely free Rohan. All right. So they draw a strategy card. I'm a little surprised by that. Are they trying to get to Corsairs of Umbar? I'm not sure. They discard Many Kings. Okay. And I pass at this point, which is really nice to be able to pass with these Wills of the West. Again, a benefit of the Day Without Dawn gone. Day Without Dawn gone. All right, now if this is my chance to run away, now I run away. No. Okay. Hide the Fellowship. Bring it on, Mouth of Sauron. Wouldn't it be cool to kill all 3 minions? All right. Hide the Fellowship. The thing is, if I'm going to hide the Fellowship and I'm planning on destroying the ring, why did this army move out of Dale? Like, did it really threaten anything? No. Better to leave it in Dale, probably. Okay. Move the Fellowship once. 1. Love it. Very happy to see a 1. Literally no character cards for Shadow, so I can just reveal myself without risk. Gollum has now saved 3 corruption. That is quite good. Dol Amroth. So I'm going to do a field battle once. It's very unlikely they'll inflict 5 hits. So they play a strategy card. I'm going to play... I don't even have any units to muster in with House of Stewards. So I'll probably play House of Stewards. Maybe Daring Defiance if I'm really worried about this. Okay, so I was worried about something like Deadly Strife or I don't know what. Note that I have 6 leadership here, and these three normal Gondorian leaders are going to be useful because I'm going to get to reroll. All right, so they hit me twice, exactly, basically, not a little below what we'd expect, but close to what we'd expect. Devilry of Orthanc. Play if an army unit if an Isengard unit is in the battle and the defending army is in stronghold. Yeah, that's cool. So I don't usually see that played outside in a field battle, but that's cool. These armies. I mean, this guy has made good rounds. Okay, let's see what I do. Oh, my past self was also surprised by it. Fair enough. All right, so I get 3 hits. They get 2 against me. That's fine. And then they press. And now at this point, I'm willing to do another field battle because I want to kill 3 minions in the game. That seems fun. I don't know. We'll see. I see. My past self is also joking about this. So they don't play a card. I play a card because I don't want them to get too many hits. They get 2 hits. That's fine with me. I get 4 hits. And then they stop. So that's fun. I'm tempted to try and attack the Witch King, but all right. I give a few more reinforcements in Dale and Woodland Realm, and then they reinforce in Umbar. I hide the Fellowship, and they use Hill Trolls. Okay, so the Mouth lives. Yes, it's good to kill the Mouth. Also, it's good to just have 5 elites and 2 companions and 6 leadership. Like, they're not taking... It seems very hard to take Dol Amroth. All right, I'm happy to see, a useful combat card. That could be acceptable. They allocate 1 eye, roll no more. And at this point, they probably want to be rolling eyes because taking 1 corruption from this eye is fine with me, right? Again, another very nice roll. I move right away. Hit an eye. Okay, take 1 corruption. They draw Corsairs of Umbar finally. I hide. They play Corsairs of Umbar. There we go. And I try and destroy the ring. Destroy the ring. There you go. All right, so that was a 14-round game. Very long. But these are the options that are available to you on turn. If you on turn 1 separate a whole bunch of companions, play a strong military defense, it lets you make good use of your musters. I mustered all of Gondor, almost all of the dwarves, quite a lot of basically all of Rohan, just huge amount of mustering. And maybe they take Dol Amroth this turn, but maybe not. All right, let's look at statistics. So I guess in the end it was pretty balanced. Even in those very nice rolls at the end of the game, I still was +7 on musters, so really high on musters. they were, I guess, a little high on musters also, but often um, Shadow does not mind that, particularly if Free People is playing a military strategy. So this is a great game, really interesting, and hope you enjoyed it. I guess I made it on to the tiebreaker game. We'll see what happens in game 3 of my match against JCW 27 in the 2024 War of the Ring World Tournament. Thanks for watching. Have a good rest of the day.